What up, y'all? Welcome back to the Joe Peoples and Peoples podcast. This is the third edition. Happy 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. Today is a very special podcast for a couple reasons. First of all, it's our first guest. Second of all, it's special because our guest and who it is. So, our guest is the one person that my wife is giving me a hall pass to. If I ever thinking about cheating on her, it's the first, second, and third person I think about. The very beautiful, talented, amazing Aranza McMetre Goodman, a.k.a. my wife, a.k.a. Wifey.
Hello, everyone. Happy 4th of July.
Happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday.
Random thought. I was talking to a couple of my friends in UK. V, what up, V? So, what? You ever think about this? Like, they should have like a sad day in the UK today, in Britain. Because this is like the day we... Yeah, this is the day we like became independent.
I guess when he's sad, they just don't even mention it.
Yeah, they lost today.
The ones that lost, they just pretend it didn't happen.
It's just money at the end of the day, so it's all good. But random thought anyway to start the pod. So we had a little break on the pod because we've been working our butts off and we've been doing stuff. The studio's not done, but it's getting better, I hope. I hope it looks a little better. It's got a little decor in here. We're getting there.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, so last year we were in Georgia celebrating with friends and family, and we were on kind of a wild ride to get there. Like we had do a lot of things quick, and then we got to chill for 4 or 5 days, and then we did a craziness again.
Yeah, exactly a year ago, everything was very uncertain, COVID happened on March, and then we thought we wouldn't travel, and then they opened the borders, and Georgia was right before. We went to the Smokies after, right? Yes.
Smokies were before, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm not very good on the map on the U.S., even though I travel, but... so we did go to the Smokies, and then it was Georgia. And then after that, I guess we started driving all the way to get to Wyoming, to go to the beautiful, badass park.
Yellowstone. Which I always mess up with Yosemite, but very different. Anyway.
And then the thing with the that situation is that, yes, we got to Georgia and everything was open, but we kind of expected that from Georgia, to be everything open.
Yeah, Georgia was pretty open, not as much as Texas or Florida, but other than that, it was pretty
I think it shocked me because that was on June and...
July.
I guess... I'm sorry, July, I'm sorry. And then it was just it was just too new, everything with COVID, still, even though they opened. And then Georgia, I go to the grocery store and people without masks. I guess it was the first state that was like, oh, what?
We should preface that. We were coming from Connecticut.
Yes.
But I got to say, actually, open more than Georgia was West Virginia. Was it West Virginia or Virginia? Yeah, it was West Virginia.
West Virginia actually is the place where nothing happened. It felt like COVID never... passed through there because nobody
didn't exist in West Virginia.
And then we went to Georgia and it was the same. But I guess, by the time exactly, going back to your comment, 4th of July last year, I would have never imagined that a year after we'll be kind of celebrating that we're almost done with the renovation. Yes. But also I was very concerned because we were about to really start the travel, and it's like, are things really gonna be open? What are we actually gonna see? Because all the cool parts were about to come, Yellowstone, Yosemite, all the beautiful desert.
But Shenandoah and Smokies was pretty awesome.
It was beautiful. Yeah. It was just starting, so it was just the question mark about, is it gonna actually happen?
Yeah. We were like just 10% into our trip, 15%. So. Yeah. It was a question of the 85%. And the one that actually was the most crazy to me that worked out, but I wasn't sure, was California, because they were super locked down and we didn't know if the national parks were going to be open. And then on top of it, Yosemite, not Yellowstone, had crazy forest fires. Actually, when we stayed, we were outside San Jose. And it was so bad that I remember the car or van, when we got up, it looked like an ashtray. There was just soot all over it. And it was super crazy. But somehow or another, our luck just keeps continuing because we went to Yosemite and we were able to go. and then like it was still like a little bit smoky, like real little, but everyone that was there that had been there for a couple days or a week was like, oh, it was horrible. It just cleared up today or yesterday. Just made it. Yeah. And then it had another fire. I want to say, I don't remember how far out it was, but
right
it was,
after we left.
Yeah, it was again. So we just lucked out. It was a little crazy like that.
Yosemite was a tough one because the restrictions in order to actually get to the park, you had to book ahead, and like the website wasn't working.
Yeah,
when it comes to COVID, it's very interesting to see how each place managed it different, how each state was different. It was like each place is a different world, and for us was a shock because we were coming from a place where, oh, you gotta wear a mask, everything's very tense, and then you go to another, it's like, oh, you do whatever you want. Like, it was just so weird,
Changing the subject a little bit, because I see the Infinity Gauntlet thing here.
That was random,
like
changes
Thanos. But, so, here's the one, I'll put you on the spot, and then you can guess mine as well, and I'll tell you mine. Favorite movie of all time?
It's impossible.
I mean, off the top of your head, I won't hold you to it, but it whatever you pick, it definitely is one of your top 10 or whatever. Like, and just give me one, like the movie that comes to your mind, like when you say favorite movie.
My goodness. It has to be a musical.
Is it High School Musical?
No.
Before the surgery or after the surgery? Which one's better?
High School Musical. I do like High School.
No, the guy. What's the guy's name in it?
Zac Efron.
What's better, before surgery or after surgery, Zach? Which one do you like better?
I mean, I think before. I don't like people with surgeries, but everyone can do the anything. I think everything's better just like.
I mean, natural. I agree, but sometimes you can make yourself look better with surgery, or at least that's what they try, I guess.
I mean, yeah, but answering your question, let's say maybe The Sound of Music.
Oh, that's old. Really old.
Yeah, the Sound of Music or Les Mis.
Is that from like the 30s or the 50s? Do you know?
I don't have idea.
We'll have to Google it after.
Probably the 50s though.
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't know. I know it's really old. I've never seen it, so I have no point of reference on that. I know it's Hugh Grant, or I'm sorry, Hugh. What's the guy's name? The main actor.
And
Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews, yeah.
And the main guy's name is.
I don't remember his name.
I want to say Hugh Grant, but he's much younger.
Hugh Grant is
I know, no, but it's Hugh something else. He's way more classic. He could be like Hugh Grant's father. I can't. I have
millions of favorite. I feel like I'm betraying. The rest of the movies, I like Les Mis. I told you that's why I watched them.
So we know you like musicals, but so off the top of your head, in a snap, Sound of Music. You can give me like 2 or 3 or
Back
whatever.
to the Future has nothing to do with the Sound of Music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back to the Future is my favorite movie, but I also like The Aviator a lot. Millions of movies. Denzel Washington, that he's the pilot. I know you hate it.
Yeah.
But
I love Denzel, but I gotta say there's like maybe 5 movies I don't really like. That's like one of the lowest for me.
That we coincide, I guess. I love Requiem for a Dream. It just depends on the mood I am, because that is just very deep.
So what do you think my favorite movie
Requiem for a Dream? No, but probably hold on. Don't tell me Christmas Story. Please don't. It's
not a Christmas story.
Okay.
I like watching that at Christmas once a year, and it's like a fun movie. It's definitely not in my top 100, but it's a good movie. I enjoy it. I mean, I only watch it one day a year, and it's on 24 hours a day on TBS.
Something from you that you like, it would be.
So the movie theater's on the other side. I'm definitely gonna have to get a badass poster of this movie.
I don't want to think Straight Outta Compton.
No, not in my top 100.
Not your top.
Good movie, like a borderline 10 movie.
Oh, I know which one is it. It's Interstellar.
No, that's definitely in my top. It's in my
there.
top 10. That's like an amazing movie. But my top all-time movie would be Blow. You should have known.
Why didn't I think of it? He has watched Blow with me probably maybe like 10 times since we started dating.
I always keep it on my little tablet, and when we travel, that's like definitely one of the movies that like I have to watch. So Blow, and I would say the Avengers movies, as well are super amazing there because it has like comic nostalgia for when I was a kid and stuff, and they're just done amazing, and the cast and the money, and they kind of cheat on everything. But just as a regular movie off the top, Blow, I think.
Blow is a good movie.
I would have to get a cool poster.
But
I think the one with Johnny Depp where he's like this when he gets arrested. Is cool, something like that. You know, I'm gonna get like I want to get a couple of cool movie pictures. I'm pointing behind us because the theater's behind us. So one day. So if you guys stick around to this end of this podcast and watch the whole thing, there'll be a little surprise at the end. So we'll see if you get there. Okay, so that's movies. There's a couple other ones that like we love. I also love keep going on that, Scarface. I love Goodfellas, like all the mob movies.
Yeah, but you're very into mob. Yeah.
I like Requiem, Ex Machina, Old Boy. I like those twisted films too. That's one of my favorite genres. I love the war movies like Saving Private Ryan, Hacksaw Ridge. So it depends on what I'm in the mood for. But Blow, I feel like it's just I could watch that almost any time. Yeah, I could always go for Blow for sure.
If that's the case, I guess a movie that I'm always on the mood will be Back to the Future. Yeah. Back to the Future.
Okay. Yeah, that's. I mean, you know what's funny? I don't think Back to the Future. It's tough. I'd probably give it a 10 out of 10, but I don't think it'd be in my top 100.
It's one of those movies,
you know what I mean? Yeah. It wouldn't be much below. I love it, but it's also, I think some of those movies, like for another example of that would be, I don't know if you've even seen this, but Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I love that movie, but I've seen it so many times. I think at one point on TV, it was like you can literally turn on TV and find Back to the Future, Rocky. That's another good one too.
Rocky.
You know, there's just some movies that it's hard for me to put in my top because I've seen them not forced, but I mean, from the older generation, it used to be a point where you turned on TV and watched movies. Mm-hmm. We had discs too, but you got lazy and just watched TV, which is what streaming is now. But there was only so much programming and so many movies, there's certain movies that I think I've seen 50 times that I've only would have watched 10 times, but they were on TV. So they kind of slide down a little. As much as I love Back to the Future, Rocky, it's even The Goonies, I love that movie, but I've seen it so many times, and I have all these now, but it's not my first go-to because it's so in bed. I know the movie so much, you know.
Yeah, I guess. But
okay.
But like Friends, I can watch a million.
Well, that gets me to my next thought process here is. Give me in no specific order. I'll go first if you want because I actually wrote it down, so I'm maybe throwing you a curveball.
That's very cheating.
Yes. Top
Is that top
10. And honestly, I spent all of 2 minutes on this. I just did it off the top of my head brainstorming, so I didn't look it up, and I'm sure I'm forgetting something, so there might not be the complete amount, but top 10 shows of all time in no particular order. I'll give you mine, and I could give you my top 3 in order. But after that, it gets a little murky. And I'm sure I'm missing some show, and I'm sure some of ours are different. But here's my top 10. So I have.
I know you're number 1. I got it.
Go ahead.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. Yeah. And my number 2.
Dexter.
Which is coming back. It's been almost a decade, and that's gonna be awesome. My number 3. Do you know or no? Because you only have top 3, and then everything else goes.
Your number 3 will be Oz.
Yes, those are my top 3
very well.
in order: Breaking Bad, Dexter, and Oz. And to be fair, Oz is an amazing show, but about halfway through it got really weird. They brought in a lot of celebrities and rappers, and it fell down. A lot of these shows. Actually, that's the reason Breaking Bad is my top show, is because it's great beginning to the end. Mm-hmm. The ending is perfect. I won't ruin it for anyone that hasn't seen it. If you haven't seen it already, I don't know why you watch TV, but throw it out the window. You don't need one. But yeah, Dexter was a terrible ending, but it's coming back, so that's great. Oz was another terrible ending. They all are. Okay, so my other shows that are on this list in no particular order would be the next 7. Shameless, House of Cards, Lost.
House of Cards before the...
Again, they're not in order. Shameless, House of Cards, Lost, Curb Your Enthusiasm. See, it's weird because some of these shows like Curb, it's fun. I can watch it any time, but it's not that serious, so they're a weird mix anyway. Shameless, House of Cards, Lost, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Boardwalk Empire, Simpsons, Sopranos. It's kind of a mismatch because some shows are very serious. You need to watch them in order, front to back, like the majority of those are. And then there's The Simpsons, which you can watch one episode randomly whenever you want. And I would say Shameless is a little bit like that. And then definitely Curb is the same. It's just a silly show. Oh, and an honorable mention to, and I almost didn't even just thought of this now. I almost didn't even consider it a show because it's so different.
Which one?
Is the Netflix one. It is Mirrors. What is it? Black Mirror. Black Mirror, because it's like every episode's very different. It's almost like a different show. And I will say the Twilight Zone, randomly, I'll give it props too, because that came from that, and that was a great old show. I like some old shows like that, like Dennis the Menace and Lassie. I love Lucy, like even black and white stuff. But I wouldn't. Those are like just under these. These would be, I think, my top 10 right there. I don't know, like the Black Mirror where that would fit, but like if you want to put that as an 11.
Like it's a good one, Black Mirror.
How about you?
I mean, you gotta guess.
All right, so let me see the ones that I think that are definitely in there. I don't know if it's your number one of all time for you. I know it's gonna be Friends.
For sure.
Because you love Friends.
Friends is definitely the first one. Yeah.
Breaking Bad, I would assume, is on that list in the top few or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Dexter on there.
The same with Dexter. It was actually a terrible ending, but they made it right in the last season.
And to be fair, I'm not naming any shows that are current because it's hard to put those in there. We both watch This Is Us. I'm not going to put it in there because it's not. It's still current, and they could totally screw it up. I mean, I think that'll eventually hit in that list or whatever. But I don't know if I'm guessing Oz is not on the list for you though. No. You enjoyed it. Shameless, I guess, is on the list for you.
I love Shameless.
Yeah, I would think so. House of Cards. That's tricky because the last season is terrible, not ruining everything. We all know Kevin Spacey. Before
the last season, that's the only reason why.
But I can't not take it off though, because like I have Oz has at least 2 or 3 seasons that are questionable. So like House of Cards, if anything, is more consistent throughout.
Yeah.
All right, so you have Friends, you have Breaking Bad, you have Shameless, you have House of Cards. Do you think you'd put in that top 10?
Because it was just one season.
How about Lost?
No, not Lost.
No, okay.
100%
Curb?
not Lost. No,
you like it. Boardwalk, you didn't even get through.
No,
it was too slow for you. Simpsons, no? Or Sopranos. So what are your other 6? Give me 6 more.
Oh my goodness. I gotta think about shows.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what? I just finished. It's a very silly show. Younger.
So that's done. So that's one of your 6.
It's not a show that, oh my god, like Breaking Bad, but it's a show that makes you have a good time, I guess.
I'll throw one other one out there for you because it's not in my top 10, but it's a show I actually really liked. It's Sex and the City. Is that in your top 10?
It's actually Younger. It's like Sex and the City, but with Sarah Jessica Parker. So
Which
that's
one
why
do you
I like
prefer?
it more.
You don't like such a...
Sarah Jessica annoys me. Yeah,
really?
She just annoys me.
So do you like Kim Cattrall?
Yes, I like everyone. I mean, I like Sex and the City, the show.
But there were like a big divide between the two, I mean, I like them kind of evenly. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of either one. I enjoy them both, but it's more the show and how I like their characters.
I feel like I do like Sex and the City. I like it. It's a show that I like. But because of Sarah Jessica Parker, I would like maybe another actress.
Okay, so you got Younger. Give me 5 more. Shoot them off. Again, it's not your all-time. If you forget something, it's fine. But what are you feeling?
I really don't know. Other than the ones I said, I gotta really. I watch so many shows. I gotta think about it.
You gotta be able to throw some out there you love though. Like what do you really watch and love?
The Wonder Years. I mean,
Wonder Years. That's another one we're currently watching. Actually,
rewatching.
I'm rewatching. You never really watched it. Your siblings watched it, so it's hard for you to put it in. You're only 3 seasons or something.
But I know some parts. Yeah, I guess I cannot put it, but because I know some parts, and I remember the ending and things like that.
That would probably be in my top 10 too, if not like 11 or 12. It's an amazing show.
Yeah. I really, other than, again, Prison Break is a great first season, but they mess it up. So I cannot put it on.
No, you can't say that. We're on the 2nd season, you're enjoing it. So 2 seasons?
Yes, but then the 3rd season is messed up.
So first 2, you mean?
But yeah, I cannot put it because I haven't watched the rest. I will say, maybe that's it. I really got to think about the shows.
All right, I'll let you go, but you have to answer this. Better show, Prison Break or Oz?
Oz.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, Oz is a good show.
It's hard. I mean, you're putting network TV versus HBO. I think 9 out of 10 times HBO is going to win with the same concept, I mean, Breaking Bad was AMC, so that was like paid network, but it wasn't, HBO.
Yeah.
But other than those, like HBO and Showtime is most of those shows when I think about it, Dexter, Sopranos, Oz, like a lot of those shows. Because, I don't know, they just do it better.
Yeah, I really... I'm thinking... I feel like I got more into shows since I started dating you, probably. Mm-hmm. Because and I don't remember a lot of shows before. It was Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But I don't think I have watched so many shows. I gotta think about it.
You're into shows more than me, actually.
Now,
like,
yeah.
I mean, I love movies, and honestly, it sounds weird because it's like counter what you think. I guess it's like a podcast, right? So the world likes to consume things in like 3-minute blocks or very short periods, or very long, like 2-3 hours. And it's kind of the same. Like, I think shows are way more commitment than movies, which sounds weird because a show could be 30 minutes, 23 minutes without commercials. But with movies, you're an hour and a half to 3 hours and you're done, you know? Whereas a show, if you get hooked and you like it, you got to keep going with it. So it's a little tricky. And I think we both rather binge watch. So, you know, it's easy. Most shows that we watch are probably an hour. So even without commercials, you watch 3 shows, it's at least a movie. So now, you know, if there's 100 episodes or 50 episodes, it could be a time eater. So
yeah, I mean, it's tricky because you asked me for one movie, you know, and movies I can give you a list of 300, you know?
Well, that
shows.
But that's why I kind of did that, because one, it's trickier, and two, if you did movies, it'd be hard. You know, it's probably easier to rank one, even if it's not your all-time, than it is to give a top 10, because then you're really narrowing it down. Like, if you're trying to be relatively honest about a top 10, it's like, okay, what are you going to do, 2 or 3 from each genre you like, or do you go, you know what I mean?
That's the thing, it's also a genre, like, what kind of style of movies you like.
Gender or genre?
It's the pronunciation situation.
It's okay.
He's always like making fun of me because I have things that I pronounce not very right, and he just rolls with it because at this point he knows what I mean. He actually 99% of the time he knows what I mean when I say something. He's like, "Oh, you mean this?" I'm like, "Oh, that's right."
And then that 1 or 2% of the time, I'm way off. Yeah.
I had to write it down. Or I just get mad to myself. Like, I'm like, English. You know, and I always go to a translator. That's the start of my life. I don't feel like I speak Spanish correctly anymore because I mix Spanglish. And then when it comes to English, I miss so many words, and I, making a sentence sometimes is not right. So I feel trapped in both languages.
You know what's funny is, like, there's certain things when you start speaking about Spanish that you jump into Spanish. Like right now, you just said, I speak Spanish. Like, you never say a speaker unless you're like talking about Spanish. You wouldn't be like, do they speak this language? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I say I speak Spanish.
You said I speak Spanish.
Huh.
So it's just like, because you were thinking of Spanish. Yeah, you're adding the A. You were feminizing the word speaker. Speaker.
Like when I feminized, what was I feminizing yesterday? The frog. I was telling you, she.
That's one of those things we talk about, is that with the language, so everything, if you don't know anything about Spanish as a language, everything is either masculine or feminine.
Yeah.
Whereas everything is just gender neutral in English. So, like, she'll say, "Oh, I saw the frog. She is very cute." We have this little frog outside, right? That's my wife's new friend.
Yesterday
we have multiple frogs.
Yesterday I ran into like
cute.
7 yesterday when
Really?
I was like battling.
I've only seen one at a time.
But yeah, we had a situation. I had a situation on Remodel last night. But anyways,
we can't just skip by that story. Go ahead, tell the frog story, and then come back and tell the armadillo story.
Because of all the construction we had, like the renovation in the house, we leave all the doors open on the garage, on the shed. We leave all the doors open.
We're in and out. People are in and out, right? Yeah.
Because we just leave them open during the day. So yesterday, never happened this before, and we left them open. Even the garage was open the whole day, and we went to sleep around 12 a.m. And then I was on my phone, and then I went to sleep. I wanted to go to sleep around 1 a.m. And then when I did go to sleep, all those times that you're sleeping and you remember, like, did you lock the door? Like, let me see if I locked the door. And then I was like, well, if I locked it, I didn't lock the door. Let me see if everything else is closed and locked.
We seem to always have that thing at night, like, oh, did we lock it? Most of the time we did.
Because it's so many little...
We have a lot of doors. It's like three houses on one property, so each house has multiple doors. So at the end of the day, I think we got like 8 doors to lock or something.
Yeah, so I opened I check on the window and I see that the garage is open. Oh, no. So I gotta put my shoes on, to go outside. And then I get into the garage and I see an armadillo like this size. And it wasn't fun because I knew the armadillos are from Texas because of
it was first of all it was late. I was asleep and it was like 1 a.m. something like that. You were going to bed, and then when you did it, like you didn't even tell me this part, so you could tell me now. So when you did you turn on the light or did you see it in the dark?
I turned the light, and then the armadillo started like because it's I guess it was
like
no, it was just like looking at me. It wasn't a fun moment.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it wasn't fun.
Did you have the big door open still?
Yes, it was open. Yeah.
Okay,
I just like I entered through that, turned the light on, and I see it all the way in the back. That was a good thing. If it was next to me,
what if it was really close?
Out.
What if it was really close? And what if you had the garage door down?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, they don't do anything, but
no,
yeah.
but just I guess.
Maybe armadillos have teeth. I mean, they're kind of
so
look like.
I ran out and I was like, I think armadillos don't do anything. I grabbed my phone. I was like, Google, are armadillos? Like, should I be afraid of armadillos? I don't know what I Google. And I said like, armadillos are very
docile.
Yeah, they don't do anything to us. All right. So I grab a broom and I just like the armadillo, he wasn't the armadillo wasn't very happy that I wasn't beating. I never did that. Yeah. I was just like trying to
touch
make
it,
him
get
out.
close, scare him, yeah.
And then at some point he was kind of didn't understand what I was trying, and then I was just like intimidating him or it, like hey, like doing like, and then he just like ran out, closed the door, and then on the way back, that's where I saw like 5 little frogs. Talking about the subject.
At night. Oh, that makes more sense.
Talking about the gender thing, I refer to frogs as she because in Spanish is la rana, which is she. We give them a gender. So I always say, oh, did you see the frog? She was very good. So I saw like 5 frogs jumping
or
around.
in broken Spanish, like I speak, la fragas.
But anyways, that was the story of the armadillo and the thing about the frog. But yeah, I mean, I guess we're gonna see armadillos very often. It's something we didn't see over there.
Yeah, armadillos and tarantulas. I've seen a couple there.
Yeah, which by the way, they're very good.
They're not that poisonous supposedly,
yeah.
And
at least the ones here.
Yeah, that's where we're looking them up. So
snakes too.
Yeah, I haven't. Knock on wood, we haven't seen any rattlesnakes or anything else.
Oh, no.
I think we saw like a little garden snake or something. I haven't seen anything big here as far as snakes go, but things get bigger in general in the south because they don't freeze, in the winter, so they can grow. So there are some big animals, and there's definitely more deadly stuff. I haven't seen any scorpions or anything.
Yeah.
I gotta say, actually, so where we are, which is like a small town outside of Corpus Christi, it's pretty coastal, and I thought it'd be way more desert and or like sandy or beachy, and of course there's beaches, but we're 30 minutes to an hour depending on the beach you go to. Around here, it's way more green than I thought. It's like it doesn't rain often and it's very warm. It does rain kind of like violently and crazy.
Like in Puerto Rico in a way.
Yeah, like the Caribbean overall. Mm-hmm. So Puerto Rico, Miami, it's that same kind of feel. Yeah, I feel like our weather is not as hot as Miami, but it's kind of the same feel or vibe. But it's really green. We got a lot of trees and the grass,
Yeah.
It doesn't grow as quick as it did in Connecticut, but it grows pretty quick and it's pretty full. We moved in winter and it was after the freeze of 140 years and stuff. So we weren't sure what we were going to see for like plants and flowers, but it seems like everything grows pretty good.
Yeah.
We actually, one of the first things we did besides like painting these 100 rooms and doing all that was to finish and put a fence in the backyard. So now we have the pool, we have the screened in porch, and we have the fire pit, and Aranza wants to get a garden going. So the backyard is a nice space. When we have time to actually go back, we haven't even really used it, not much.
There's so many things that we had to put as priority in order to have the house ready. We couldn't be jumping on the outside. You gotta live inside. So.
Yeah.
So I feel like by the time we're done with the inside, we're gonna be traveling. So I don't know how much time we'll have to put the time, but probably in a year we're gonna be telling you, hey, the house looks great because we're gonna have time.
Or less, and hopefully it'll be multiple years of that. So that's the whole point. I mean, it's a long-term thing. I mean, actually, the other thing besides a couple things. One, the weather has been much better than I thought. I've talked to a couple people in Connecticut. Obviously, summer just started, but they've been having a couple of hotter days than here. We always have a nice breeze. It hasn't been too hot. It's been a little bit hot lately. It feels like most days, the hot hours between like 1 and 5 or something, you kind of want to, be, somewhere not too hot. But even like when you're outside, most of the time if you're in the shade, it's super nice. We haven't used the AC much, a little bit at night, but like it barely is working because like it just needs a couple degrees to turn down. We were using fans for most of the year.
Yeah.
It's been really good. So overall, I'm happy with where we are.
Yeah.
Other than the amount of work we did.
I mean, you gotta pick your poison, right? It's like you either go to a place that is very hot in the summer, or a nice place like Connecticut that has a beautiful summer, like most of the time, but it has a terrible winter. So I guess we were both very tired of the life with snow and that cold. We're not very good.
The police are coming. They heard we have too much of a situation for our weather. They're gonna come take us soon.
So yeah, I mean we're actually very happy in Texas. People treat us people are very welcoming here. I'm 5 hours away from my family, so they were telling me that there might be a train that goes from Monterrey to Laredo, which is gonna be amazing for people like me that cross back and forth.
5 hours or 10 hours by bus.
5 hours driving, yeah. Right now, we haven't driven to Mexico because it's not safe to cross the border right now, especially with COVID. But I guess the hope is that it gets better.
The bus is pretty easy.
5 hours away driving.
Other than the time element, though, the bus is pretty easy.
Yeah.
And it's pretty inexpensive. And
they go everywhere
that's worked out pretty good. Yeah, exactly. It's been all over the place, but it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
So as far as the house goes, like I said, that's what we've been working on. So that's why we took a break last week, and actually taking one break today. Partially, we're building stuff this morning, but. Yeah, that brings me to my next thing is some of the contractors. So we had some great contractors and some terrible ones.
Yeah.
It's been like...
It's an experience for sure.
It's been an experience. What I say overall, where most of them lack would be communication. They don't tell you when they're coming sometimes or what they're doing while they're here. So you have to really watch because they'll just do something the way they think it should be done or the easiest way or the best way for them to complete it quickly. And it's definitely not what you want. And you come there like, what's going on? Why is there a light inside my toilet and there's not one in the house? Not the lights, because the actual electrician has been great, but it was just an
example. Yeah, no, actually, one of my favorite contractors has been the electrician.
For
He's
sure.
Amazing.
And a very good communicator overall, but I mean, we've had things where like people just do things wrong or break other things while they're doing it. I mean, it's a process because there's a lot of work to go on. This house is from 1930, and the woman here had been here 85 years, or 81 years, I'm sorry. So, like, she kept it up, but she was older, and the style was very old, and then it just needed updates. Where we're at right now, this actually was just like a sewing room. There was no walls. There was no lights, one light. I don't remember.
It was a very abandoned room.
Yeah. And it was like I think it was originally like a storage attic, and they just put these steep stairs up from the kitchen.
Well, she was 80-something, and she was going all the stairs are very steep.
Yeah, they are. They're like double steps.
It's like my goal, like I gotta be 87 to be able to go through the stairs.
Yeah, good luck.
But yeah, we did do 2 rooms. There was a lot to do in this house, and because of that, come back to the subject of the contractors, we have had to work with so many of them for very long periods of time, and it has been a ride because I don't know, things that people tell you that you gotta live to understand. Like he says, like sometimes common sense is like missing because I also get it. They do it all day, different places, different houses with different people that live there. So I guess they just do it the way they would like it. And sometimes you arrive there and you're like, why did you do this? Like we had a person that, in order to put the toilet correctly, the toilet wasn't very balanced. So his way to solve that issue was to put a fuckload of fucking
like 150
cement.
Pounds of concrete.
But he put it around it in a way that it looked terrible because it was surrounded.
So basically the toilet combined with the sink and then touched the shower. No, it wasn't that big, but it was like half a room with cement. Crap. Literally.
Yeah. It looked like you just throw fucking cement. You put it around it. It didn't look good around. Then we just get there and we're like, what this? And he's like, because the toilet wasn't very balanced, so I put cement. Where another, we obviously, totally removed that cement after.
Yeah, someone was able to fix it and make it normal.
And another plumber, who's the one who has been working with us, that he does understood the situation without making it ridiculous. He actually, yes, in fact, the toilet wasn't balanced, so he just put some cement just in the bottom. You barely see it. There wasn't reason to put it around. So it's just that, the way they do things, it just like drive you crazy sometimes.
Yeah, it's little things. And then like the guys who did the floor, there was like a little cement shoe where the toilet was in a different room. We got 4 bathrooms. But they removed that, and now it's like a little off, so we're going to have to correct that too. So it's just been like little details. There's a ton of little things here, and projects hanging. We had to get a dumpster, which we filled to the max of all the stuff here, between throwing away old stuff and construction stuff. And we're going to have to get one more smaller one. We're just waiting to finish, and then we're going to do that. So
yeah, it's been
a little crazy.
It's been a lot of physical, mental work, and Dan and I have had very, stressing times where we're just bored, tired, and like money-wise also exhausted because the money just go out the window. So.
I mean, this is a business for us, so we have the 2 properties on top of our main property, and those we'll be renting, so we just can't wait to get our income in. But for now, it's like the money just keeps going out. And there's little things. It's like, this doesn't cost that much, but when you multiply it times,
like the trims,
like so much trim in the whole place, and then just like, it's like so many little things that add up. But when it happens,
wood especially, wood right now is
wood is so high. So when things get tough, I pray to Jobu, and hopefully it makes it better. It's a movie reference, you don't know.
Okay.
But I'm sure some people out there will get it for Major League. So we pray to Jobu. But,
the wood obviously didn't help on the price.
Yeah, so the stairs, when we knew this, when we moved in, the stairs to the second floor over the garage apartment were like really rotted. They were like, you could feel them a little on your feet, kind of. They were done. I mean, it probably would have lasted another year or 2, but long term it wasn't going to happen. So we replaced those, and like the amount of wood, and wood's like 4, 10 times the price, whatever. So it definitely, that sucked. Also the back fence, but overall, I think it's worked out pretty good. We definitely got a good deal on the house, and it's definitely a lot nicer now than it was as far as like modern updates, color schemes. We put in brand new floors throughout all 3 houses. Yeah. We painted all the rooms. I want to say 15 plus rooms.
There was a lot of sheetrock and new things to repair.
Yep. And this is my sheetrocker right here. We started with a sheetrocker, but it ended up becoming a Ranza. And currently I'm the wood maker, and I've built concrete stairs, and we built stairs upstairs with wood, and I do the wood and concrete. She does the sheetrock.
It's interesting because sometimes it's just better you learn to do things yourself. I mean, that's what we've been doing since the beginning, but certain things we don't mess with, like plumbing and electrical, we just don't want to mess with it. That. It's something, somebody that knows has to do. But there's certain things that we had since the beginning, like somebody helping us with the sheetrock, but then it ends up being so many things and very fast. For example, they did this window. They cut it a lot of sheetrock, and then the next day they were coming to put the trims. So then the sheetrock needed to be done in the next hours.
ASAP, yeah.
Yeah, so I just learned to do the sheetrock and the mud and all that. Yes, I'm not a pro on that, but I learned to do it, and I've been rolling with it. And things like that, putting toilets down. I'm sure he probably knew how to do it, but he never thought he would do it. He did.
Not my favorite activity.
No, I don't think it's a fun thing to
Messy
do.
Messy and
so
annoying.
many other things that we have learned to do and learn to understand how things work. I gotta say, having a house, yes, there's expenses or whatever, but it's a beautiful thing when it comes to remodeling your own house because it's exactly the way we want it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's with the floor we picked. Both of us went to see the floor. No, we don't like it. We touched it. We saw
the plumbing fixtures, the sinks.
Every fixture, everything is lights. Exactly how we like it. And that's the beautiful thing and the bad thing, because I feel like if we ever get another house for any reason, now I'm gonna be spoiled. Like, I like this floor. No, if we ever buy a second house for any reason, for us, let's say it's for us. Let's just pretend there's that second house. we will be like, let's change the floor, let's change this, because now we passed through that situation that we want to do it the way we want it.
I think if I buy a second house, at this point, it's going to be an investment.
Yeah, I think for sure.
Like when we're old and like kids have moved out.
You never know
like
how things
we just
go.
get something small and I don't care anymore. I feel like this is a one-time major remodel. Like it's... I hear people say it all the time. I watch these shows, you know, where they have teams and they do this. But anyone that does it somewhat themselves, even if they have a team, and we don't really have a team. We found out some contractors, but we've done it all ourselves. We're the general contractor. We do the paint. We do the sheetrock. We did a lot of things, and everything else we found people, and we supervise. We get the parts. We do whatever. So this is like a once in a lifetime thing, and it's like it's worth it, and it's cool. But like I'm done.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
I wouldn't
I mean, I would all over, but I don't want to do it.
We talked about this maybe on the future. When the kids are older, whatever, if this turns out being a lot of work because it's a big house, or
we don't have kids yet. We just talk hypothetically.
Oh yeah, we always do.
Okay.
But anyways, this is just a thought that because the house is so much on our style that I don't think I will be able to be in a house that is not my style anymore because I did this one, you know, and this one is turning out to be exactly how we like it with the carpets we want, everything. So that's the fun part. If any of you are passing through a renovation, just hang in there. It's actually pretty cool. After you're done with all this, we haven't been done. So maybe one day I'll tell you about it.
I mean, I know a lot of people that do renovations, but to be fair, too, ours, like, we ripped the bathroom down to the studs. I mean, full demo. We ripped 3 bathrooms down to the studs. We did a lot. So a lot of times people, like, they're like, I'm painting an accent wall, or like I'm doing something. It's like it's work, but I'm like, whoa, there's levels to this because we bought this in March and now it's 4th of July and we're getting closer to finishing. So this is all said and done. You know, like you know, I don't know if it's gonna be a 6-month project, but you know, it's more than 4.
Yeah, it's not an easy, especially because you also depend on other people's jobs and schedules, other people's schedules. So there's certain things we were. If we did everything, including electrical, plumbing, everything ourselves, we would have been done like a month ago. But, you know, when you're working with other contractors,
it's when they're available and stuff. And to be fair, one of the things was cost was important to us. So we've had a lot of contractors who were like squeezing us in. So they'll work either weekends, they work in nights. So it does take longer too. So that's partially why it's taken so long for us.
Yeah.
Just things we're running into. So I mean that's what we have going on with the house. The other thing we have going on is the world trip. So we're looking to book a give or take 6-month trip. And, you know, we did. So we are starting the beginning of it, but we're having a little trouble routing. We've gone a couple different ways.
It's changed so many times. Originally, the plan was to leave on this
January.
year, of course. Yeah, January.
Yeah.
Before COVID or whatever.
So we had the prices, the weather mapped out at a certain time.
Everything is very... The plan that we're doing, the 5-month, 6-month travel is very...
7, 8.
It's very hard to do when you're trying to match the places with the perfect weather or at least a good weather. So
also the time we're leaving. This wasn't the time we wanted to leave. So every place in general is nicest in the summer, and I know the summer changes depending on what part of the year you're in. But that's also the most expensive time to travel. It happens not to be when we're leaving or coming back, so we won't have a summer. So fall and winter are a little tough with weather a lot of places. So, you know, we're trying to go to the coldest places on the earliest or warmest time of the year. And that we'd love to be actually in the warmest places that time of year because it'd be great, but then we'd be going to cold places when it's super freezing. So it's just the routing's a little tricky.
Yeah, ideally we'll have been leaving this summer, but you know.
Yeah, I mean a 6-month travel, I mean to me would be like maybe halfway through spring would be a great time to leave and then come back halfway through fall. So you get all of summer, half of spring, half of fall. That would be beautiful, but you know, it's just not going to time out that way.
There's a big factor. I have a wedding that I have to attend. I want to attend. It's a must in Mexico, but it's on October. So it didn't make sense for us to leave before October in order to be back to this area. Actually, it's not here, it's in Mexico, but back to Mexico and leave again. So we had to plan after the wedding, which is leaving by the end of October. So based on leaving on October, because also COVID, things just open. So in a way, October makes sense because things are going to be also open up. But based on that, try to plan a try to plan a travel to Europe, including areas like Poland and things that are super ridiculously cold. That everything like the time element is exactly in the good weather. It's a very tough situation, you know. Asia is easy because it's opposite. So we get to Asia on December. It's fine. It's gonna be warm, but also Asia right now is not open for us.
Yeah. So the whole thing is still a little up in the air. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna plot it out a little better and know soon. So any of our friends who are international and have watched the podcast and know we're coming, we're gonna get you dates. We're just trying to figure out
the logistics. But we'll get there.
We'll get there. So we know we want to do the Euro Rail for a good amount and actually see a good part of Europe and then do flights from there. And we know on the other spots, I think we're going to fly and we're probably going to spend a little longer in each place, but not as many places. Definitely like Thailand and Australia are two of our tops worldwide, and Bali, but Indonesia. But so we'll see how that all opens up. New Zealand will be cool. There's a lot, but we'll see how that all opens up, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's a little bit of planning, and but again, we're giving the priority to finish up with the house, and then we're gonna be ready to do that.
All right, I got a couple of random ones for you too. So these are gonna be harder to answer, but they jump into those. Your favorite band of all time?
Of all time. When I was like
so not
15,
a solo,
I would be the Backstreet Boys.
Okay.
When I was 15, but not now.
Uh-huh.
Band. I'm not into bands, actually.
Come on, it has to be a band. If you were at a concert and it was free, and anyone in the world was,
I guess
playing,
Little Big Town.
Little Big Town sounds very country.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fitting.
Oh, no, you know what? Rascal Flatts. That's definitely my favorite band.
That's country. That I know.
Yeah,
I don't know their music, but I know who
the
they are.
Dixie Chicks. They all have to be country. I love country.
Apparently it's country.
Yeah, no, I think the Dixie Chicks.
Mine couldn't be more different because it's like metal. You know, it's like Metallica would be my number one. I've seen them a couple times, definitely. And then Pantera, which would be more southern metal, but you would definitely say metal, like
Yeah.
They yell. It wouldn't be your thing. And then obviously hip hop. If I get into bands, that'll take me 10,000 years.
Yeah, no. I'm not very into bands. I guess I was in the time, but right now I don't know. I like singers, solo singers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. As much as you like Lowe's and Walmart, because we were there every other day.
I learned to love Walmart since we started traveling the world. I wasn't very into Walmart before. I'm sorry, the U.S. I wasn't into Walmart before because I guess, honestly, there's no reason. It was just I was stupid enough to not like Walmart because now that I understand, I guess my image of Walmart was like, oh shit, I guess what you hear is stupid. There's no other reason. But now that since I travel through the U.S. and Walmart was a place where we always landed, I love it. You find everything there.
Everything in general, it's cheap. Mm-hmm. There's once in a while some stuff you got to get on Amazon. You can't get anywhere, but Walmart is the next closest thing to a physical Amazon, and Amazon cheats because they take stuff from all over the world and just route it. But Walmart, I will say, I liked it, always did, and then it got I understand the negativity part of it because I get super annoyed sometimes, and like the lines can be frustrating, especially certain locations. We're in a smaller town, so it's not bad here. But the thing that reopened it for me was the self-checkout. As long as there's self-checkout, I'm good. I'm the type of person that I'll have 20 items and go to self-checkout. And the one here is great because I got to say they have probably 8 or 10, and they almost all work. If anything, some of them are only credit card, which I have no problem doing. And I notice people will be like, people like cash because it's a smaller town.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, is it cash only? Even the employees sometimes are like cash only at Walmart. That and Lowe's. And I knew this moving in. There were some things I wanted to be a relatively close distance to, or else I wanted that area. And I don't care if it was Lowe's or Home Depot, frankly. I like Lowe's a little more for most things. I think they're they're a little prettier decor, though they might be a little more expensive than Home Depot, but they're better for like lighting fixtures and carpet, whatever.
Yeah, Lowe's.
But that was something that like I didn't want to be too far from. So Lowe's and Walmart are across the street from each other, and there's days that we've gone 3 or 4 times to one, the other, or both. We try not to do more than once a day, and once this whole like remodel is done, I want to go there once, twice a week. But yeah, 2 of the things I wanted to have a grocery store close, which we do, and it's pretty good, H-E-B. And I like H-E-B overall. It's not my favorite one, but H-E-B is pretty nice down south. It's a good chain, and they don't have it up north, but it's awesome. Lowe's or Home Depot and a Walmart, because I used to live across the street from a Lowe's, and like I just know when you're remodeling a house, you go so often, especially when you're your own GC. The contractor's like, oh, I need a piece of PVC pipe. Oh, I need this electrical thing. I need this. I need that. So like you can always get it, which is great. So that's been pretty good. I also wanted to have a Planet Fitness not too far. I canceled my membership now because we've been and we're going to travel, but eventually one day I'll get that. But I don't mind because we have the garage and we're going to have a nice home gym. So I'm good with that. Maybe I'll hit a local gym instead.
We're trying to make a cool gym in the house. It's better.
And every town I think has a Dollar General not too far, so that always can work. Like it's like a little, if you don't know Dollar General, it's like a little convenience store / grocery store. Not quite a grocery store, but they have most things. Like if you need ketchup, they might only have 2 brands, but they always have that.
Another thing I just discovered, like Dollar General.
Oh, Dollar General. We do have a Dairy Queen too. Yeah, Aranza loves that.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Sadly.
She's trying to move. Her thing was we can't live too many miles close to a Dairy Queen. We have to get away.
Yeah, actually in Monterrey, where I'm from, there's a
Sultana.
Yeah, there's a ice cream place
chain
called Sultana that I love, and when I go to Monterrey, I love it. I love the Oreo one, which
everyone from Monterrey loves it.
It's funny because it doesn't have an Oreo cookie on it, but it's called Oreo. But anyways, it has it's very, very good. And every time I go to Monterrey, that's actually my weakness. I always go to Sultana. And then here in the US is Dairy Queen, and he introduced me into it. I wish I'd never tried Dairy Queen because I guess I saw it we have it in Mexico too, but like I never really tried. But now that I try it, it's an addiction. And then it's here in our town, so it's not ideal.
Well, I will say this actually. Good or bad, the one thing I'm very happy in a lot of things I've overly delivered around here, but one thing I'm underwhelmed about is the food. But that's not a bad thing because I think we'll grow more of our own food, we'll cook more of our own food. And there are some cool things. They might be like a half hour away. We have a couple cool spots 10, 15 minutes away, but nothing mind-blowing. The better stuff is 30, 40 minutes away for sure. So that's a little sad coming from Connecticut and Monterey, which have great food. When I go to Monterey, my thing is definitely burgers. Sounds crazy coming from the U.S., but Monterey has much better burgers. I wouldn't say better than all of the U.S. because like my favorite burger place might be in Austin. There's a couple good ones, but it's one of the best ones I've ever had. Of course, tacos. Definitely tacos. Lots of meat tacos. And chicharron. So the fried pork cheek. That's very good. So
that's a thing in Monterey.
Yeah. No, so Monterey has very good food, and it's very meat-based, but does have some really good food. So we like going and
some meat. It's like based on meat.
No,
it's all about meat.
It's mainly all meat based. I mean, Sultana's not meat. We don't think. We don't know. There might be some chicharron in it.
Never know.
And everyone has chicharron de Ramos, which is the best one. Like every restaurant was like, they're like, we have chicharron de Ramos with eggs and whatever else. But and who goes to eat burritos? Good burritos and juice and burritos for your gringos.
Yeah, well, they're gonna think. So it's an actual restaurant named Jugos y Burritos because
they make jugos, which
they
is
might
juices
think you're talking
and burritos.
about like juices and burritos. You
know? No, so it's like fresh squeezed juices or blended juices, and then they have like burritos and stuff. It's breakfast and lunch, but it's really breakfast food. They're just open breakfast and lunch hours, which is different in the U.S. than Mexico. Mexico runs kind of on a later schedule, which I guess more of the world does. I mean, I remember when I was in Europe, specifically Spain. I mean, people can go out till 4, 5, 6, 7 in the morning. It's not uncommon. The sun comes up when you actually are done. So lunch is 2 o'clock. That's more of a starting time for lunch, like 2 to 5. Which is like American dinner, American dinner is like 3 to 6 or something, it's like 4 or 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock-ish normal, I guess.
People start dinner at 3 p.m.?
I mean, yeah, old people.
That's the time you eat in Mexico?
So now that we're in a smaller town, this isn't necessarily a retiree town, but you see a lot of this in Florida and stuff. They call it the early bird special. So like old people eat dinner at 3 o'clock. Yeah, and they'll have specials like from 3 to 4 or something like that for like old people. Because, I don't know what time they're in bed, but it's pretty early. They're just on an early schedule. Because they get up at 5 or 6 a.m.
Right, that's true. Yeah, you start.
So they're having breakfast like 6, 7 a.m. And you eat lunch at like noon. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, I'm hungry at 4, So, yeah, it's a little different on the time schedules and how it does. So this is the new studio. We're not fully there yet and all the decorations, but it's going to be something like this going forward. And I'm hoping to have more guests. Obviously, I had to have my amazing, beautiful wife. And if you were wondering, this shirt is made by her. It's Zazations. It'll be in the description below, so you'll have a link. And this is the America shirt. If you can't read it, it is Patriotism 1776. That's the year. We're 1,000% guns, and we're 100% bacon, and what are we else?
Communism.
Freedom. 0% communism.
For sure.
It's a fun shirt. You could check out the whole website. There's a whole bunch there. She has stuff all year, and then the holidays are like fun stuff. There's Father's, Dad Day stuff. Mother's Day, which more of you mothers need to get on. Save your links now. Send it to your husbands. They don't know what to buy anyway, so you get something cool there. So I know you buy from for the fathers, but the mothers, tell them what you want on Zazations.com and send it over. But yeah, we're hoping to get more people on. I'm going to figure out a portable version of this when I travel in Connecticut in the next month or so. And do some podcasts. It probably won't be with this mic and all that, but we'll get a decent situation and good quality for you guys. We're going to move on and get more decorations and stuff, but this will be where it's shot, at least in the room. And hopefully some friends will come visit us and do the podcast and stay with us now that we're winding down on all the work and getting there. So when you guys are cold in Connecticut for the fall and winter, and you want to come on down and visit us, or it's too hot in Mexico, and you need to come up here and chill. We got the best weather most of the year, so
it's gonna happen. They're gonna be escaping from their weathers
for sure.
From here, or I'm sorry, us. We're gonna be escaping from here.
Well, I think August is the hottest, but I will say it hasn't cranked near 100 once. It's been like low 90s. And with the breeze and stuff, it's pretty nice. If anything, it gets hot in the house sometimes, like later in the day, but if you go outside, we have a neighbor, she's always outside like come 4 or 5 o'clock because it's much nicer outside. So if you go outside, we have some shaded areas and stuff. It's pretty good most of the year. And in the in the winter, we were wearing shorts. I mean, I was kayaking in the winter. Not every day. I mean, there was a couple days it was freezing cold, but in general, it's been pretty good weather. So, can't really complain.
Yeah. It's for us, we like this kind of weather, so
exactly
it works. Some people hate this kind of weather. So
if you don't deal well with the warmth, this isn't for you. But I would say in the winter, on average, we're here in the mid 70s, low 80s almost, so it's beautiful in the winter. And now it's like upper 80s, cranking a little in the 90, and then I think it'll be in the 90s,
Yeah, because I had people like that really shocked me when I was in New York, Connecticut, that I was like kind of very annoyed by the snow or whatever, and I ran into people like, oh, this is my favorite season, I love this time, and I'm like, but I get it, it's this weather's for everyone, so
I mean, a lot of people I know love, different seasons. I would say fall's very popular too, but Connecticut, for me it was summer, and a lot of people it's summer because it's very good weather then. But yeah, I mean, some people love the winter, but I will say it's rare that when you go to a cold place like Connecticut, New York, wherever, like that winter's a person's favorite season, and it's rare when you're in a warm place like this that summer is someone's favorite season.
Yes.
It tends to be opposite, you know. You know, if summer is not your favorite in Connecticut, it's one of, and most people like, you know, spring or fall. I've always preferred summer, but I also like later spring and early fall. It's comfortable. It's very nice.
In Connecticut, yes, it's a very good. It's a pretty good season actually.
Yeah,
it's very nice. You know.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna wrap it up. We're about an hour in, and just wanted to say thank you guys for tuning in and checking us out. And more to come. Since you stuck around the whole episode, just so you know, I'm going to put up a link and I'm going to do a little separate video, a short one, and just give you a little bit of what the house looks like so you can get a little feel of it. It's still messy because we're doing some stuff, so you're not going to get everything, but you'll get a little glimpse into it. It'll be a little short snippet. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Happy 4th of July. Or July 5th, or whatever day you're watching this. It takes a while to upload 4K, and we haven't done an hour on the podcast yet, so it's going to take even longer. So this may not even make it till the 5th. We'll see. But thank you guys for tuning in and joining me and Aranza over here in Texas and rocking with us. And more to come soon. And hopefully you got something out of our little conversation, what's going on in our lives. We didn't get too deep today. We just wanted to have fun on America's birthday and just have a conversation. So
thank you for having me.
Hope to see some of you guys soon out here. Have a beautiful holiday and happy birthday, America.
See you.
Peace.